kay Ms. Guo naman, although this might be hearsay for the committee, pero ako po personally, I hope you'd understand, di po ako naniniwala sa story na kayo po ay sa Tarlac from 0 to 38. Actually, Mr. Chair, can we ask the committee if naka-ready po yung photo? It was already shown before, pero yung class photo po ni Ms. Guo.
Secretariat.
Ms. Guo, while waiting for that po, you say you were born in 1986. Tama po ba?
Yes po, Your Honor.
That puts you at, how old are you now po?
38.
38. And at the time, naalala niyo po yung picture po no, na na-present last time. But you claim na di niyo po yun...
Ano pong picture,
invoked
Your
your
Honor?
right. Yung picture, class picture niyo po.
I invoke my right.
You
Opo.
invoked your right. Pwede mo naman sabihin na hindi ikaw yun, di ba?
Your Honor, I hope you understand, sa sobrang dami na pong kaso na nasampahan po ngayon sa court, kaya anything po na isasagot ko po dito sa inyo might use against me po.
Opo. Well, I think that's why I have a tendency not to believe you po. Kasi kung talagang hindi ikaw yan, I think you would have said that's not you. But instead, you invoked your right to self-incrimination. And why do I not believe that? I can identify two of the people behind you. Magka-batch po tayo, Ms. Guo. I know what year this was taken. And they have a description of you. Nung pumasok ka po sa Grace, napaka-thick po ng accent ninyo, Mandarin lang ang kayang salita. But you were very friendly and you were very makulit. And that's why they had a hard time to forget you, even though hanggang grade 3 ka lang daw po doon. Now I know, like I said, that's hearsay as far as the committee is concerned kasi hindi naman nandito yung may personal knowledge doon. But when I was talking to that person with personal knowledge, na-convinced naman po ako and they've identified you. In fact, if you were 38 and this picture was 2001, you would have been 13, 14 po ba? Eh, kasing age mo naman yung mga 19, these people were born 91, 92. Kasize mo naman po, I don't think you're that much older than them. And that's why I really don't buy that story that you were born in 1986. And I don't buy the story that this is not you. In fact, they called you Ping. Ping po yung nickname nyo dito. But anyway, that's just to prove the point po, no? But what does that say about the testimony here before us? Thank you, Comsec, for the picture. You mentioned po you lived in Tarlac for most of your life po. Tama po ba?
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
So from age 0 to, you claim to be 38 po, no, Ms. Guo? From 0 to 38, talagang residence po ninyo is Tarlac.
Yes po.
Have you at any point in time found yourself in Binondo?
Binondo, never naman po ako tumira sa Binondo.
Never tumira. But you visited Binondo po ba?
Yes po.
For what purpose po kaya yan?
Minsan mamasyal, minsan may bibilhin. Opo.
Okay, so from there, would you have an idea of the circumstances surrounding the meeting of Miss Ong and your brother, si Wesley?
Sorry po, one more time po.
May idea po kayo kung paano nakilala si Wesley, si Miss Ong?
Wala po, Mr. Chair.
Tapos, so sariling lakad niya po yun, yung sa Binondo, and then they met?
Yes po.
Okay. I direct my questions again to Miss Ong. So you say you're in a relationship with Wesley. Ano po yung birthday ni Wesley Guo?
February 23.
Feb 23?
Yes po.
That would peg him, what year po?
1990, wait, bilangin ko lang po.
Mr. Chair, do we have anyone who can confirm the date? Because my data says otherwise.
I think,
Perhaps, Mr. Chair, I can ask the Bureau of Immigration. They might have the documents po. No? Mr. Chair, directing my question to the Bureau of Immigration. Anong birthday po ni Mr. Wesley Guo based on his Philippine passport?
Mr. Chair, good evening. Unfortunately, we don't have it, but I undertake to give it before the end of the session, sir.
Okay, please can we confirm? Because as far as I understand, I've seen the picture of the passport and it said February 1. And it would be very curious po na Miss Ong wouldn't know the birthday of her boyfriend for 4 years na po. Tama po. But we'll confirm it later po naman, no? We don't have the data. Would you know po kung anong schools pinuntahan ni Wesley Guo? Boyfriend mo po of 4 years, hindi mo po alam kung anong schools pinuntahan niya?
Hindi po, Mr. Chair.
Isn't that curious? Di ka man lang na-curious kung saan po siya pumunta for schooling?
Hindi po.
So ano yung mga... What aspects of his life do you know about? Alam mo po ba kung ano yung hobbies niya?
Maglaro po.
Maglaro?
Ng gamdam.
Ng gam-gam? Ng
Parang robot.
robot?
Yun lang po.
And the nature of his work? Are you familiar po?
No po.
Hindi rin. So as supposedly a couple from 2020 or 2021, hindi mo po alam yung school niya, hindi mo po alam yung interest niya, and I'm pretty sure hindi mo alam yung birthday niya. So that's what I'm trying to point out here, Mr. Chair. I do not believe in the story that Miss Guo and Miss Ong know each other through the brother. In fact, I believe the matrix more, in which what binds them is their work relation through Mr. Duan Renwu and Mr. Xiang Ji. And in fact, if there's anything that I would change to the matrix, I would say that dapat si Duan Wenru and si Xiang Ji should be in the middle between the two, because he is the link that binds. Because, Mr. Chair, I'd like to ask again, between the two, between Baofu, which I think, Ms. Guo, ano po yung relation po natin sa Baofu?
Your Honor, after po ako nag-divest, wala na po kami relationship.
Oh, but prior po, you were an incorporator.
Prior po, Baofu, landowner.
Okay, landowner po tayo. So Baofu, may link po tayo kay Ms. Guo. Kay Ms. Ong naman, admittedly, incorporator ng LS99 through Mr. Duan Renwu. So we see, ito na po yung sinasabi ng matrix na parallel operation. We have here two owners of yung supposedly yung land-owning corporation, which will eventually lend to the POGO, of which they are still actually a part of. Yung si Mr. Duan Renwu, if I remember, is ninong po ni Ms. Ong. Is that correct, Ms. Ong?
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
And admittedly, si Mr. Duan Renwu, kilala rin po ni Ms. Guo. Is that correct, Ms. Guo?
Your Honor, nakilala ko po siya through Cassie Lee.
Through Cassie, allegedly. You met Cassie through the boyfriend na hindi niya nga mabanggit kung anong school or anong birthday. But admittedly, you know si Mr. Duan Renwu, who you were seen together abroad when you escaped the Philippines. Is that correct, Mr. Chair?
Mr. Chair, na-met ko po siya nung sinama po ni Cassie sa amin.
Oh, pero kasama po ninyo abroad. Indonesia po ba yan or Malaysia?
Hindi po kasama. Na-met ko lang po siya dahil sinama po ni Cassie.
Dahil doon. And Mr. Duan Renwu and Mr. Zhang Chen naman, paano mo po kilala, Ms. Guo? Siya po yung nag-arrange ng hotel nyo, di ba?
Your Honor, hindi ko po kilala si Zhang Jie.
Hindi nyo po kilala. Pero in-arrange lang po yung hotel nyo.
Hindi po siya nag-arrange ng hotel namin. Hindi ko po siya kilala.
Hindi nyo po kilala. Okay, we'll come back to that. So si Mr. Duan Renwu and si Xiang Che, na president of LS99, dito po natin nakikita in parallel po yung nangyayari sa kanila. And why I find it hard to believe, for example, yung kwento ni Ms. Ong na kilala niya si Ms. Guo through the boyfriend, di naman lang masubstantiate, and puts into light every statement that you have made. Of course, aside from the statements made regarding the right against self-incrimination. But if we're talking po about everything she said, that she was in Tarlac for 30 years, that all of her life, or the fact po that she was not the person in the Bamban Resolution, this is going to be your testimony versus documentary evidence. Yung Bamban Resolution number 185 series of 2020, citing you as the applicant for Hongsheng Gaming, ano po yung sagot mo doon? You said you have no recollection at all kung paano na nasama yung pangalan po ninyo. Tama po ba yan, Mr. Chair?
Mr. Chair, all related Hongsheng, Baofu, I invoke my right against self-incrimination po.
Okay. And just proves it even more. If you can't relate to us how you're related to the resto, then I guess the document stands po na may kinalaman po kayo sa Hongsheng. Another thing po, you claim na walang Filipinos involved sa escape. How do we know that we can take that for granted? Kasi, yun nga, as far as we're concerned, false in one, false in all. And then, of course, the allegations that 3.2 billion was transferred to Hongsheng through the partners mentioned earlier. And it's parallel also because I remember, if I'm not mistaken, Chair Dan Fernandez mentioned there was also a similar transfer going on between Mr. Duan Renwu and Ms. Cassandra Ong. So we see nga po na talagang I think may basis yung matrix, talagang parallel yung operations, and I think that's as much as we can get from them. Baofu and Hongsheng versus Lucky South 99 and Whirlwind are two sides of the same coin. They're parallel operations held by a consistent cast of characters, and now that the Quadcom is digging deeper, we're now moving up the ladder. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll be able to get anything more from Ms. Ong and Ms. Guo, given that they have cases and they have repeatedly cited their right. They've repeatedly invoked the right against self-incrimination.